What are other ways that we can help children with their learning at home?
I would say reading with your child. I mean, that's beneficial from birth on up. And when I say on up, I mean even as, fifth graders, sixth graders, seventh graders, we think oftentimes our kids can read on their own. When was the last time you listened to your child read? Well, if they're not of primary age, they learn to read to themselves, right? So reading with your child is so incredibly important. When my son was elementary age especially, every summer we would pick books to read together. And by reading together, I would mean, as a fourth grader, he can read. He's reading on level. He's got good comprehension. But how does he read with expression? Does he stop at the end of the sentence? Does he run right on through? Does he recognize that there's any punctuation there whatsoever? And so we read together. We went to the library together. The library, hey guys, the books are free. You don't have to go and purchase books to be able to read with your child. And so we would pick out books, and I remember when he was in fourth grade, that summer we read the book Friendle. And I would read a page, he would read a page. And then sometimes he would say, Mom, I want you to read 2 or 3 pages. And so, yes, we would stop in there and, after a page or after a paragraph, and I would ask, what just happened in the story? If he couldn't tell me what happened in the story, then that told me his mind was wandering and thinking about other things. Yes, I know I'm a math specialist, but I have taught all subjects. I'm certified early childhood all the way up through 6th grade, self-contained. I can teach any subject. I just kind of went into the field of math. But with reading, I told you I struggled as a child in math, but I learned, or I figured, maybe a better way of saying this, as throughout my early childhood, I thought there was something wrong with me with reading. Because I would get to the bottom of the page and I would go, who's Bob? And how did he get on a boat? Right? So we've got a new character and now we're traveling somewhere, and I get to the bottom of the page and I have no clue. It was probably not until about high school or even early college that I realized, I read every word on that page, but my mind was thinking about, what am I going to make for lunch? What am I wearing tomorrow? Ooh, I wonder what my friends are going to do on the playground. What did my mom say I needed to remember? Like all of the things that were happening in my brain, my husband calls that too many tabs being open, like on our desktop computer, right? My brain was thinking about so many other things, yet I was literally reading I was word calling every word on that page, but I would get to the bottom and have zero comprehension. So I thought growing up, well, I just can't read. There's something wrong with me. Again, not realizing until later in life that, well, no, I did read every word on the, oh gosh, I wasn't even concentrating on what I was reading. So that became an important thing with me, with my son, of making sure that he was truly focusing in on what he was reading. My son has ADHD and can be very lively at times, and so getting him to sit down and do homework at night, that was a challenge because he had been on all day doing his very best, right? And now I want you to sit longer at night. So anyway, just reading with your child, again, starting at birth. I read to mine when he was in the womb. They're not understanding everything that they're seeing, but they're hearing the words. And those words form synapses in our brain and help us to form connections. Because if we haven't had that vocabulary, then it is going to be more of a challenge for us. So helping your child with reading. I would say a second thing is talk to your child. Don't try to speak to them at a baby voice level. Is there a time and a place for that? Absolutely. But once they reach school age, then prior to that, having conversations and reasoning doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen without practice and without thinking. And so, case in point, I have two little great nieces. One is in 4th grade and the other is in 1st grade. And having a conversation with them is so enlightening because they're able to hold a conversation, have a complete sentence, be able to think through. Are they still, 1st grade and 4th grade? Absolutely. They are developmentally where they need to be. But having that conversation, I can tell that my niece and my nephew have spent time sitting at the table with them and having conversations, or, having those real discussions with them, and not dummying down the vocabulary, if you will.
Yeah.
Because we're always afraid that children won't understand. Rephrase it in a way so that they would understand if you're using that big word, or because they can understand.
Yes.
And that's the only way to help them develop their own language.
Mm-hmm. So I'll interject here real quick.
Sure.
And I'll say that it turns out that I feel that my son learns from my daughter more than from me. I feel like, because whatever she does, he picks it up right away.
Of course.
And if I say the same thing, it's not right away. So if my daughter speaks to my son, who's younger to her, like her baby brother, in baby language, I discourage that. Mm-hmm. Because I tell her, because he's learning from you so much, if you can speak in proper language or your language, he's going to learn that from you, as opposed to you speaking baby language to him. He already knows baby language, first of all. And
probably all too well.
All too well. And he's not going to learn the proper words. So I always encourage my daughter to speak proper language with him, even though she's just trying to give him more love by speaking
absolutely.
to him in same language, and just, But, with my son, I realized that and he's, like I mentioned, he's 2 years old, and I try to reason with him a lot more, because taking a step back, there used to be a time with my daughter when I didn't think that she would understand what I'm saying. Like you said, I just didn't think. With my first baby, I didn't know any better. But with my son, with my second child, I just try to use proper language with him, and I try to reason with him as much as possible, and I try to have him make that connection. And when he's yelling, or when he's upset, frustrated, I try to tell him, use your words. And sometimes it's just not going to work. He's not going to use his words because he's out of
developmentally, he's not there.
Yes. But sometimes, I'm able to say, I just give him a hug. I come down to his level. I think coming down to their level has been a game changer.
Absolutely.
And so I just come down to their level, like sit down on the floor, so I'm at the same level as him physically. And then I'll give him a hug, and I'll give him what he wants, a little bit of what he wants. But then I'll have him, say, I'll say, use words. You tell me what you need. Just, it's okay. I understand, we're feeling a lot of emotion right now. So I use words so that he can make connection with his emotions with those words. Oh, is that what I'm feeling? Okay, am I overwhelmed at the moment? And if I drink a glass of water, it's going to help me calm down. And then what I want, I can always ask mommy what I want. Mommy's always there to, listen to me. And she will take care of me. Mommy will take care of me, So I think that, coming down to their level and then using the right words to help them make connection, and encouraging the using of words and understanding their emotions is what I've been working on more recently.
I love that you said that, because at that age, too, oftentimes they feel with their emotions, but they don't have words to connect to that emotion. I'm hungry. I'm sad. I'm frustrated, I'm tired.
Yeah.
We know that one,
Yeah.
right? When they're tired, that's when they start to act out, because they don't emotionally and mentally have the capacity to regulate what is happening to them. And so giving them that moment to, have that tantrum or whatever it is to get it out of their system, there is no negotiation during that time.
Yeah, that's not the time.
No. It's like trying to talk to you when you're red hot about something and just madder than a hornet, right? That's not the time. That's not the time. So then going back and saying, when you were laying on the floor, throwing that tantrum, or, asking me for water, helping them to form those words to help them regulate those emotions. And as a parent, we know our child, right? We know the different cries. We know the cry of hunger and the cry of being tired and, frustration or anger or happy, and they don't know how to control that. We know that as a parent because we're able to pick up on that. We brought them into this world. We know every quirk about them, right? Yeah. But being able to recognize that, but also understanding developmentally where they are, and saying, I'm so sorry that you're feeling that way. The answer is still no. Yeah.
And I put it out there, like,
once you give in, they see that, there's the break in the chain that I can, break through that fence. Once they figure out where that hole is and that I could wear you down, they're on it. They're going to find it every time. Yeah. But that's their job. Yeah. That's their job, to test boundaries, to figure out, how do I fit into this world?
Yes. And part of me makes me happy about it too. Yes. Part of me makes me think, I'm glad that they're trying. Right. That they're trying. It's not something I'm going to give to them, or I don't think that it's best for them right now, but they're trying. Yes. To find different ways to get to what they want. Right. Incredible.
Negotiations.
Negotiation skills are being developed. Yeah, you ask me more.
Right.
Yeah, get me to say yes. Or, I learned something about myself, or you learned that this is not going to work.
Right.
So, but I'm sorry, I had interjected while you were giving us ways to help our children at home. Is there anything else you wanted to add there?
Oh gosh, reading with them, talking to them, counting, doing, fun little projects at home. And it doesn't always have to be handing them an iPad or handing them your phone. And I know that that's the easy way. But finding other ways to engage them, going to Dollar Tree and getting those little notepads with word searches, or, the coloring. Gosh, all of those things are so critical to what they're going to be doing later. The other thing I would say is bring back family game night.
Great idea.
Playing board games with your child. I can tell who's played those games at home and who hasn't. And it does come back and reflect in their work. Are they able to share? Are they able to take turns? Not everyone is going to be first. Not everyone is going to be the winner. How do you handle losing? Does it make you mad? Does it make you want to throw a fit on the floor? Or are you able to say, good game? I learn something every time I play with someone else on, backgammon, for example. My husband loves to play backgammon, but he's so much faster at it than I am because he grew up playing that with his dad. And so he knows those spaces on that board, and he'll go, "Hun, you just go there." And I'm like, I gotta count because I'm not as familiar with this board. Yeah. But having those experiences, that teaches your child so much about, it's going to get them ready for math, for one thing, but it also teaches them how to relate to others and how to be able to have that conversation when you're the winner. How do you behave when you're the winner? Yeah.
Life skills, it's good to teach life skills.
It is 100% life skills. Bring back family game night. Plus, it builds a bonding. right? That's where you laugh together. That's where you build that family unit, that family bond, and they're learning life skills at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. And with that being said, I'm going to bring up your YouTube channel. We have, she has videos on there, but we're hoping for you to make more videos.
I hope so.
Because we really want to draw from your experience that you have. It's valuable to us, and I would like the audience to know that she does work with a school district, and they are also asking her to make more videos.
Yes.
So imagine a school district is asking her to make more videos about her experience and around math and learning for kids. So we're looking forward to more. And I'll be putting the link to her channel in the description box below. That way we can all benefit from that.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. It was wonderful to have you. And again, I learned so much, and I know that my audience will also appreciate all this.
Can I just add one more thing?
Yes, of course.
So, we've talked a lot about developmental things with our kids, but I would say as a parent, always instill in your child the word yet. When they come to you and they say, I'm not good at whatever it is. I'm not good at hitting the ball. They're playing t-ball or baseball or whatever. I'm not good at learning my multiplication. I'm not good at reading. Add the word yet on the end. I'm not good at this yet, because yet opens up opportunities. Whereas I'm not good at this, period. End of.
That's negative.
End of
and
discussion.
And yet there's positive still.
I will never, that means I will never learn it.
Yeah.
I'm not good at, whatever it is, turn it into a yet. Because with practice, the old saying, practice makes perfect. Well, when we practice something, that's how we get better at it. So I'm not good at math, which is not hereditary, by the way. So a lot of parents come in and say, I'm not good at math, so my child's not going to be good at math. Well, it's not hereditary.
Yeah. It's not in your blood like that.
It's not a gene that you pass on. I'm sorry that you were not good at math growing up. However, here's an opportunity for your child to surpass you. But that word yet is incredibly powerful with children, even with adults. It's a mindset, but getting ourselves in that mindset of, okay, I'm not good at it right now, but with practice I can be.
Yeah.
So
no, I think this could be a game changer, honestly. This is you hitting the ball right out of the park. Because yet is game changer. And just me thinking about it, I can tell that I can flip any negative situation into a positive situation if I was to add yet to it. Just because I haven't done it yet doesn't mean that I cannot learn it and do it.
It's about mindset.
It's about mindset.
But what can you put your mind to? Think about that figure skater who is out there. The Olympics are about to start. If they had the mindset of, I'm not good at the twirl or the jump, or are they going to be successful when they go to do that jump? No. But if I've practiced it, then I've already had that mindset of, I've got this. But, if it's something that you're working towards, then putting that word yet on the end really sets yourself up for being open to success.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Ginger. I really appreciate the fact that you added that in. This was like the one cherry on top that we needed.
I loved it. I loved being here with you, and I hope that we can do this again sometime.
Absolutely. I would appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.